Welcome back to the PO3 Podcast. My name is Marcus Marks.
Just John.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm just chilling, trying to get over our last episode here.
Good, it was a great one.
I didn't expect it to go that way.
Yeah, it makes two of us.
In my head, I was like, this is going to be a great podcast. We're going to really dive into some deep shit here, and I'm going to do a lot of work on myself. And next thing you know, I'm talking about...
Some weird shit.
It's not weird, man. It's life shit.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Anyway, yeah. Honestly, though, I'll be honest. I was struggling the whole time, bro. I was trying to fucking not fall off. The whole time, I don't know if you noticed, it was fucking hard.
What do you mean by not fall off? Like chair?
Like mentally.
Oh.
No, I was mentally okay. What the fuck? I don't know. It was kind of a blur in my head a little bit. There was a cognitive dissonance.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And just for whatever reason, I don't know why, but these past few days, I've just been feeling fucking tired, dude. Mentally and physically and everything. So I don't know. I just been when I'm starting to feel this way, it's like a struggle that I have to fight through and shit. And I have to push through the fucking, like I said, the cognitive dissonance and with all that I can. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet and shit. Cause my real energy, I could probably just be like this, bro. Just be talking like this. So I kind of I gotta throw some spice on it, you know? It's not unauthentic. It's what I gotta do, you know? To push through it. I don't really know any other way. So.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, last one was crazy though. For sure.
And you, how's your energy?
Pretty good. I mean, I don't sleep well, so that always plays a factor in my day. But
so how much sleep did you get last night?
5.5, 6 hours.
And that's on a regular for you?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro. There's this one podcast on sleep that Joe Rogan has on his channel. I don't know the dog. It just, you type in sleep, Joe Rogan, and it'll come up. But the importance of sleep plays such a huge factor in your health and your mental clarity and everything, that it's crazy that you just been living like this. How much smarter can you be if you just got 8 hours of sleep every day? You're not even performing at your optimum level because you're sleep deprived.
Yeah, and I have been for a long time. And
high school?
Dude, as far back as I can remember. But with that being said, it's just there's always something to do, you know? So, it's okay, let me paint you a little bit of a picture. So I'll be at work, and if it's a slow day, I'll get tired. Just yawning, to the point where my eyes are watering. So then I have this, okay, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna just relax and then crash out, you know? Then on the drive home, I just get this sudden urge of energy. Well, I can't say urge, but I get this all of a sudden I'm not that tired. And then I get home and it's just well, I'm awake now, so let's just game. And then I'll game until 3 a.m.
Do you hate that though? Cause don't you just want to be tired so you can just fall asleep, have a good night's sleep?
Granted, if I were to lay down, I would rack out, but it's I don't have that same desire to lay down and rack out like I did when I was at work. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Granted, if it's a busy day at work, then, you know, you're moving the whole time, so you really don't have time to feel the tiredness until you get that, you sit down type, you know what I'm saying?
As long as it doesn't bother you though. I mean, are you cool with just being a little tired all the time? Does it bother you? Because for me, I'm just I'd be a grunt, bro. I don't operate very well without sleep. I can, but it's just I don't prefer it. I need my 8 hours.
Maybe I am grumpy. It's just I've been doing it for so long that it's just my natural behavior to me at this point.
Well, because I wouldn't notice that you hadn't slept 8 hours from all the times that I've hung out with you. You're never yawning or anything like that.
You give me in the chair long for in a short amount of time where I'm not doing anything, and I'll start yawning, dozing off. But
you get the yawns are just over and over.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I do know sleep is a vital part of life and health in general. I found that out during my whole working out phase, you know, that sleep is often the most neglected aspect of, you know, gym training and stuff. Everyone focuses on the gym, somewhat on diet, and totally neglects sleep. And sleep plays probably one of the more vital roles. It is probably pretty close to on par of the diet, which is the biggest part of working out and gym training. So that's where I kind of got my whole little my brief surface level knowledge of, the importance of sleep. But yeah, man, because I've been doing it for so long, it's just part of my natural routine. Like I get off work at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, and I'm off Sunday through Wednesday typically. So then I don't want to sleep my entire day away, on Sunday, because if I were to get 8 hours, by the time I settle in, I get home about 6:30 in the morning. And if I were to sleep my toy, I'd be getting up like 2, 3, and then it just sets me up to be up all day because I'll up all night, because now I'm gonna have this, energy level. So rather than sleep my day away, just my body naturally will start waking up 1:30, 12 o'clock around there, 1:30, and then I just go about my day. And then I'm always coming to Fresno, well, for one now, to shoot the podcast with you, and then my girlfriend lives over here, so it's just I don't want to say I don't have time to sleep, but I'm just so used to the cycle. It's hard to break the routines. However, there are times where I will just lay down by chance and happen to fall asleep like at 10:30 and wake up around 8, 7 o'clock, and I feel like a whole new person. But
Yeah, I dealt with the same thing working at Lowe's, because I had to work nights, and I did that for I think 4 years working nights. And I basically do the same thing you were doing. Granted, it wasn't 16-hour shifts. I was only working 8s, but I would go in at 9 at night and then get off at 6 in the morning, sometimes 7. And me being a young kid, the weekend would roll around on a Friday, right? So I would get off Saturday morning at 6, right? 6 in the morning. It would be Saturday already. And I didn't want to miss anything, because a lot of times you guys were already doing shit, fucking day drinking already. And I was like, dude, if I fucking sleep and I get my 8 hours, I'm not waking up till, I've wasted half of my day just sleeping, So in my head, I would just be like, I'm staying up. So I would stay up. So I would go into work at 9, get off at 6, and then just stay up until like 3 in the morning the next day. So I was up past 24 hours, and that was just wrecking my body, bro. I just remember being so fucking tired, but to the point where it was like physically hurting. And I was young too. So like doing that now is like out of the question, but I was able to do it back then. And I would do that all the time. I'd just stay up without sleep, and it was crazy. And you know how they, that saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead, like that, they got it twisted. It's like you need to be getting sleep. And a lot of times people are prideful of the fact that they go without sleep, right? Yeah, I got this done and this and that, which is great, but you need your sleep to be able to like get some longevity out of your body, because it's going to lead to high blood pressure and cognitive dissonance, mental clarity will be distorted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and like I said, I mentioned it in one of our other previous podcasts, where I'd rather be physically tired than mentally tired. And it takes a while for me to get to that mental exhaustion point, at which point then I'll do like a reset, but it's going to probably get a little bit, I don't want to say worse, but I got some things I'm trying to take care of. So I'm going to be working some overtime on my days off and stuff. So, at least try to anyway. So my sleep deprivation will continue for the next few months, because I got some stuff I'm trying to take care of as soon as I possibly can. So
yeah, I'm worthless, bro. If I don't sleep, if I don't get a good night's sleep, I hate it. And I remember when I was like working like that, holding down a 9 to 5, oftentimes I could relate to what you're saying. It's just like when you're dead tired when you get out, but then you get home and you lay down and you think you're going to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden your mind just starts racing, and now you got insomnia. It's like, well, I'm up, so what the fuck is there to do? I might as well go eat something, or, play video games, or start making a beat, for in my case, and then next thing you know, it's time to, like, you're really pushing it now. You need to get some sleep in, and you're reluctant to fall asleep, but it's like, I have to do this, otherwise I'm going to be operating. I used to go to work with no sleep. Like a lot of times I'd be up 24 hours and stuff, and I would just have like 3 or 4 fucking Red Bulls. No sleep.
No, I haven't done that. I do need to sleep. I'm able to operate, I can't say maximal efficiency with, a couple hours of sleep, because I will feel it throughout the day. There was one time I remember I was in the process of, I can't say building my computer, but I bought some other stuff that I had to take it completely apart for, and then put it back together. I was basically getting a new case, so I had to take it all apart. And I remember some of the parts that I had weren't compatible with the new chassis that I bought for my computer. So I had to order some new parts. So my computer was down for like 3 or 4 days. And my schedule at that time was on Thursdays I would work 2 to 10, and then I'd have to be at work on Friday morning at 6 a.m. So you got 8 hours between when I get home and before I got to be at my next shift. But I can't just go from running and gunning to sleep. I have to have like my moment just to kind of like wind down. So an hour and a half, 2 hours go by. So tonight I'm down to like 6 hours. But I have to also account for getting up and getting dressed and getting my stuff ready to go to work,
So
and then my drive to work.
6, yeah.
So it comes down to about, if a good day, I can probably squeeze in about 4 hours. But that particular night, I had got all my parts in, and I was like, well, I won't be able to touch my computer till 10 o'clock in the evening. Let's just put it, how long could it take? And before you know it, it was 12 o'clock, and I was still putting things together. And then by the time I got it all set up, I was like, well, I want to see if it works. So then I went, put it all in my room. I got my monitor set up and all that. I went to bed like at 2:30, and then I was up at 4:30 to get ready for work and do 16 hours. So that particular day, yeah, I was that med for a long, long day. And but again, when I got home, I was like, all right,
again, you couldn't fall asleep? Holy
so then
shit.
I was in my room playing on my computer.
I've done that before. There was a time where I got hired at, remember Pelco?
Yeah.
Well, it turned into Schneider Electric, right? But they were still doing cameras at the time. And I got hired for inventory. So there's millions of parts in there. So all our job to do was count, right? And I think on one of these occasions, Sean actually dropped me off. And I had no sleep. I was up for 24 hours, and I ended up working, I think 15-hour shifts just to get overtime. And I had no sleep, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck? I almost like passed out just like counting parts and shit, dude. But I just remember thinking like, this has to be unhealthy. Like, there's no way that this is not unhealthy. I'm consuming large amounts of caffeine and sugar. And then on top of that, I'm not sleeping and I'm eating poorly. Who knows what I was eating for lunch, probably a burger and fries or something like that. And then getting home, and then I've been there, dude. I'm like, yeah, you don't, for whatever reason, you just can't fall asleep. Insomnia, and it often comes, I think for me, it's like the mental pressure of like knowing that you have to go to sleep. So like my mind just wants to go to the defiant part and just be like, let's just stay up. And that pressure of knowing that you have to fall asleep prevents me from falling asleep. So I just end up staying up, because on the days that you don't have shit to do the next day, you fall asleep. Well, I fall asleep just fine. I hate that shit, the tossing and turning. Like, I remember that happened to me when I was a little kid, man. I was I think 13, 14, maybe 15, but I got hooked on sleeping pills because my anxiety was so fucking bad, dude, to the point where I could not fall asleep, and I was staying up extensive periods of time because I didn't want to go to sleep, because my anxiety was just keeping me wired, and panicked. So I remember I took a Tylenol PM, and then I fell asleep, and then next thing you know, I needed 2 and then 3, and then I just couldn't fall. Like, 3 wasn't doing it, you know what I mean? And it was getting to a point where it was scary because now I was dependent on sleeping pills, as a kid. And I was like, bro, this is fucking bad. I got to learn how to fix this, right? So I ended up fixing it, being able to fall asleep on my own. But ever since then, I just stopped fucking with like melatonin and stuff. Like, I just always wanted to train myself to fall asleep naturally because I didn't want to become reliant on anything, which kind of ties in, is relevant to nowadays. Because I remember you telling me that Jordan Peterson got hooked on his, was it SSRIs?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was a benzodiazepine.
Okay, so, benzos. Okay, so yeah, that's an SSRI, I think. Don't quote me, but a big part of the reason why I never wanted to get on medication was because I didn't want to become reliant on it. And I knew that as a kid, dude. And they wanted me to be on medication as a kid, right? And in my head, I was already terrified to put anything in my body that was gonna play with my brain chemistry, because that was what put me in that position in the first place. What was a huge contributing factor to my my anxiety, right? And I didn't want to tamper with that at all. So them telling me like look, we want to put you on medications on top of Ritalin and stuff as a kid, I'm just like totally opposed to that idea. And my logic behind not doing that and getting on them, other than anxiety and being fearful, was I didn't want to become reliant on it, because I knew at some point in time that eventually I would be somewhere and not have access to those pills, and it would fuck me up. It would freak me out, and I didn't want to have that mental panic of like, oh my God, where are my pills? I didn't want to be that guy, right? So I knew that as a young kid. So ever since then, that was my philosophy. And even now, like my pills are ready to get picked up, right? I could go pick them up right now. And I'm still reluctant to do that because I'm still fearful. You know what I mean? I'm fearful of becoming reliant on them. And I know how dangerous that stuff can become at a certain point. And also too, because I'm trying to straighten some stuff out with my doctor and stuff and insurance issues and this and that. So there is a reason why. I mean, if everything was straightened out, I would go pick them up and then it would just be up to me to actually start taking them. If everything went according to plan, I'd be on them as we speak. You know, I'm probably going through the changes and feeling the effects of it. But I haven't yet just because I'm trying to make sure all my ducks are in the row so that my prescriptions land on the days that they need to land when I got to go pick them up. So when I run out, I need to know that I can go pick up another batch. So that's why I haven't started yet. Otherwise, I'd probably be on that road already. But yeah, bro, becoming reliant on that shit is fucking crazy. And I know I started talking about like sleep, right? But it kind of ties into that, you know, for me. Like I don't want to put anything foreign in my body.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, Jordan Peterson mentioned on numerous podcasts. I don't know if his opinion has changed since his particular issue with benzodiazepine, but he was like, you know, there is a stigma that surrounds, you know, the SSRIs and stuff. What does it stand for? Like selective serotonin receptor inhibitor or something like that. I think it is.
I never knew what it stood for.
But and other variants or any other SSRIs that exist for that matter. But he was like, look, like they might actually, yeah, there's people that do have adverse effects to them, and then there's those that it actually does do what it's designed to do. And so it might be in your best interest to try it and give it like an honest trial run, you know, like don't take it for 4 days. Cause I know like one of the side effects that people often complain about is like they're cloudy, their mind's cloudy. And so they stop taking it within a few days, but you don't give your body enough time to actually put it to use and to get past that cloudy moment and then actually reap the benefits of it. So I mean, who knows about that? But I mean, hopefully in this, you know, whenever your insurance issues get squared away and you start taking these medication, hopefully it has the desired effect on you first time going around, so you don't have to bounce around from different types, you know. And that way it kind of makes you, I don't know if it completely rids you of whatever like your disorders, but at least probably minimizes the manic or depressed episodes, you know.
Yeah, so for mine, it wouldn't be SSRIs because somebody who's bipolar in general, if you give them SSRIs, but they're undiagnosed as bipolar and they just think it's depression, that will actually make their mania worse. So you have to be really careful at diagnosing and giving your symptoms to the doctor because depending on your symptoms, they're going to give you either an SSRI or a mood stabilizer. So in my case, I get a mood stabilizer. And yeah, so hopefully the goal of this, since I've never done them before, is to see some positive effects right off the bat and not have to, you know, add in a cocktail or switch medications or try it. Cause dude, I want to do one and done, man. I'm already scared enough to start this shit and I really don't want to do it. Like, I really, trust me, if I didn't have to be in this position, I would not even be thinking about medication, but I've tried everything. And this is the only thing that I haven't tried. And I'm willing to grab my nutsack and fucking just go for it, bro. Jump off the deep end and respectfully, right, and cautiously. But it's crazy, bro, because these pills have black box labels, you know, which means that in certain cases you can die from them. And in my particular medication that I have, one of the big side effects is called Steve Johnson syndrome, which means that you basically get third-degree burns and your skin falls off. You know, it starts with the rash, and you can't just stop taking this shit, right? You have to wean off of it. So they caution you to up and bump the dosages very slowly, you know. And one of my issues with my doctor was I felt like she was trying to bump the doses too quick. So I was trying to, and one, it wouldn't cover my insurance at the rate she was trying to bump the doses. So I'm trying to straighten all that out. I want to start off at a low dose for X amount of time. And then if my body reacts great to it, you know, and there's no adverse side effects, then let's move the dose up. But she's talking about like, for the first 4 days, we're going to start you off at one pill. After that, the next 4 days, now you're gonna go 2 pills. After that, the next 4 days, then 3 pills. I just feel like it's only a week for my body to
Adjust.
yeah. It's just like I feel like it would take a month just for my body to get used to 1 pill a day. Let alone throw 2, 4, 6. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to do it that rapidly. And I know she's a doctor, but I also know myself and how sensitive I am to things. Because I already have a rash that it comes and goes, and it's from eating bad. And it flares up and stuff. So that's already something that I got to pay close attention to and make sure that I can distinguish from the rash that I already have from the thing that could potentially kill me. You know what I mean? So it's huge, bro. There's all kinds of shit going through my head, and they haven't called me back yet. I'm waiting on them to call me back from the doctor. I called last week and like I let them know the issues and stuff, and I'm just waiting to hear back, man. So it's kind of a waiting game now. So my prescription's just sitting at the pharmacy right now. So in the meantime, though, I'm trying to just keep my head clear and try to remain positive because I can already feel myself trying to talk myself out of getting out of this situation. Subconsciously trying to get out of it.
Well, I mean, I think it's in your best interest to at least try it. Granted, this is coming from literally no expertise in this particular domain, but
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to argue that they don't work because I'm sure they're helping a lot more people than that have adverse effect. Yeah, so hopefully you're able to keep your mind where it needs to be so you can actually hopefully get some nice and significant results out of it, so you can lead a more
normal lifestyle, bro.
Yeah,
So I asked her too. I was like, "Hey, look, what is the percentage on this particular medication? How long you been practicing? How many times have you seen instances where it affected, in this particular case, Steve Johnson syndrome affected the patient, right?" And she said within the 16 years, 15 or 16 that she's been practicing, she's only had like 6 or 7 cases of that. So that's a really small percentage. And I looked it up. It's like 6%, right? Which is a little high for me. I'd rather have it be in the 0 point percentile, but 6%, that's what I'm looking at. And I mean, I have relatives in my bloodline. So genetically, they've been on stuff like this before and they've never had any adverse effects to it. So genetically speaking, I should be okay. But you just never know, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but name another instance in life where you wouldn't be happy with 93% or what you say was a 6%?
Yeah.
So a 94% of success. Like that's pretty good odds.
90, yeah, anything in the 90s.
Like
I'll take it.
Exactly. And then when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, granted, I'm sure it's human nature to be like, well, I could be one of the 6%. And obviously that is a factor. But I mean, again, like I said, name another statistic or another area in life where a 96 or 94% chance of success is deemed not adequate,
Just put it this way. I haven't won the lottery yet, people. So I'm not that great with odds,
Yeah.
Every time that I've played any scratchers, I've never won. So, and that's even less than 6%, So, that probably made no sense.
More than 6%.
Yeah, more than 6%, right? But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I kind of know what I'm walking into here. But, I mean, as far as that goes, bro, too, like, I'm just like trying to talk health here a little bit and just kind of like get up to speed on like how I'm doing and everything. So I'm 7.5 weeks now into my diet and everything. So it's been good, man. I'm like super proud. And the fact that I'm holding myself accountable, because when I first started doing these podcasts solo, bro, and even before that, I was talking about like, dude, like I want to get my shit together. I want to get my fitness back in order, start eating healthy again, get back on this journey to my transformation and like do it the right way, 100% this time, 110%. And I'm actually doing that now, dude. And it feels good to like hold myself accountable and actually do all the things that I'm saying. Like I'm finally over the hump, I would say, bro, because it was those first couple of weeks that were the hardest for me to refrain from eating the foods that I normally eat. And now it's so weird, bro. Like I'm 7.5 weeks into just eating clean, couple cheat days here and there, nothing crazy, working out, exercising regularly. And it's weird now because I'll get hungry, right? But like not how I used to get before. Before you see a burger on TV or you smell it and you're like, bro, I gotta have that burger. Like I need Now it's just like when I'm hungry or if I smell a burger, it's just like, that smells good, but I'm not craving it. Like I don't get cravings anymore. It's just I know my body needs fuel, but I'm not craving anything in particular now, which is super weird for me. Like the dynamic of that mindset, it's just I'm still getting used to it because there's been times where I'm not even hungry, but I'll go and grab a bag of my favorite snack, hot Cheetos, just because I miss the taste, but I'm not I don't need it anymore, you know? And it's super weird though.
Yeah, often getting the ball rolling is the hard part, you know, and getting past that hump, and then it just becomes part of your everyday life, and it's easier to maintain. So I can understand that.
Hardest part for me is going to be the holidays coming up, but by that time, bro, I'm going to be in such good shape to where like I can have a piece of pumpkin pie and it's not going to fuck me up. I could just go do an hour and a half of cardio and I'm good, you know?
And even then, what's one
Nothing,
slice going to do to you, even if you didn't do an hour of cardio?
I mean, unfortunately, though, all the holidays are revolved around food. Like, what do you do when you get together and have a celebration? Like, what's the main thing you do?
Yeah.
Eat. Like, that's all people want to do. Like, everything is just about eating, really. That's how you go. Like, imagine going on a vacation and only seeing the sights and not tying that with a dope meal to go with it and dining in at a restaurant. It's like, I do miss that stuff, you know. I wish, but that's my whole point, though. Like, I want to get in such good shape to where if I want to, I can go out and we can go, you know, out to dinner. I can get whatever I want, you know, and it's not going to affect me the way it would. I'm not starting from scratch anymore. I'm way ahead, you know. So I've got progress in the bank.
That's good, man. Good. Going forward. Good job.
Hold on. I got to text. I got to send a text real quick.
Okay. No big deal. But yeah, like I said, I need to start my fitness journey myself. I've let myself go and keep talking about it and haven't fucking pulled the trigger yet. So I got to hold myself accountable to that. But it is what it is. I got a bike that I bought that I rode like fucking 3 or 4 times.
Anyway, sorry. It was a grocery list I had to send out. I was trying to go through a mental checklist of like what I needed for my diet. Speaking of that, right? You said you're holding yourself accountable, like as far as what?
No. I need to.
Oh, you need to.
I need to. Yeah.
I know you can do it, bro. It's just like I said, my hat's off to people who fucking hold down jobs and still find the willpower to put in the work, you know, afterwards. Because the last thing you want to do, man, is go to the gym.
Yeah, I've done it before. I've done it for a long time. So it's not like it's impossible, nor is it like I'm starting without any prior knowledge. You know, it's something I can do, something I have done. It's just, for me, the hard part is actually like the first day.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go. Okay. And then the next hard challenge, because, okay, let's make this a week. And then once I'm about 2 weeks in, it's just part of my routine. It's just like getting it done. And it's part of, like I said, it's just part of my routine. And I just got to get to that point. But for me, the issue is just pulling the trigger, you know, when that should be the easiest part in my mind. But
so let me ask you this. Do you plan on getting into any type of fitness here in the future, or are you happy with where you're at now?
No, I'm not. But yeah, I do plan on getting into, you know, starting my fitness endeavors again. Is just holding myself accountable in the sense of me actually getting it done versus just saying over and over, I'm going to do it. I need to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
So,
well, I mean, if I could just add, I mean, I don't want to pry, but like, what is stopping you from getting to that point? What is it? I mean,
right now, besides me not being happy with my image, I just don't care enough to go. Like, it's literally, I'm going to need somebody to hold my hand to get me in there to get it. And then once I do that,
so it's not bothering you enough to make the change. In other words, because
I mean, I want to say yes, but if it was, then clearly I would have started already.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like you're halfway content, but then like you understand that, like, I know that there's progress to be made. Because for me personally, it just ate me up. Like, I know the type of, I've always been active, bro, like from sports when I was younger. So having to go from just being completely active and doing something like construction where all I did was dig all day, that's where I started at least, to going to just now I'm a couch potato. For me, that warped me mentally, you know, and it fucking, I let myself go, dude, and I didn't like it, and it bothered me enough to the point where I had to do something about it, you know, on numerous occasions. This is my 3rd time doing this.
Yeah, so like I said, I care about it, and like I said, clearly it's not enough to make me do anything, but
that's crazy too, bro, because like if you like got into something like that, like, and I'm not just saying this, because I know how you are with your science and shit, and you would know how to get to the point where a lot of these elite athletes get to, because with all that hard work comes science behind it, right? There's a reason for doing this, and that
Well,
that makes your body bigger.
yeah, I've acquired an extensive amount of knowledge. Like, well, I'm fairly certain if I were to take like the course that you need to take or the test to become a certified personal trainer, I'm sure I could pass that.
I always wondered why you didn't do that, bro.
I'm sure I could pass it without cracking open a book. I mean, I'm not saying I would pass it like with a 95% score or anything like that, but you know, I've with the amount of knowledge that I've gained, I can hold a conversation with people that I've done it before that are certified personal trainers, and I'm able to carry a very intellectual conversation with these people about sugars and the way they affect the body, and you know, and stuff like that, like the science side behind it. Not, you know, obviously not being an expert in it, but so I do have the knowledge available to make it happen. It's just I just need to say today's the day. And that's basically what it comes down to. So,
I remember you trained me one time. It was when you were going to the gym a lot, and I really wasn't. And I wanted you to like help me out, like, because I didn't know anything, bro. I didn't know how to do any type of work. I did because my dad, he made me work out when I was playing baseball. Like, he forced me to work out for a whole year, and I ended up liking it. But since that time, like, years had gone by, so I forgot how to lift, right? But I remember you were going like all the time, and I was like, bro, like, will you train me and this and that? And I think we did like one day or whatever, but you were like there with me, bro, and you were like showing me how to curl correctly, and like you were really focused on like form and all that stuff.
yeah, so that was knowledge I acquired.
You got heavy into it.
Yeah, later. I would say I was doing the typical bro science type stuff that had no real no facts supporting what I was saying or, you know, doing. It was just like stuff that gets passed down through generation, through, you know, through conversation and things like that. Like, I was never training. Like, when I first started, it was basically core, and that was only because you know, Josh Diaz was one trainer at the time, and he was big on core, which I found out later is a huge monumental thing to do. But I stopped that, but it was basically chest, shoulders, and arms, and some back. I did 0 legs.
I need to do legs, bro. My shit is scrawny. I need to hit leg day.
Yeah, so
I hate my calves. I want big calves.
You know, everyone attributes calf, which, I mean, in every
calves or calves? Cows. Which one is calves?
they're this. I think they're spelled the same. It's just like
Okay.
a homonym. I think it is.
Okay.
What's called, or a homophone, one of the two.
Okay.
But anywho, homophone spelled the same or said the same, but mean different things. I think one of the two. Anyway, it's well, everything muscle belly, you know, where the muscle attaches to the bone. It's all genetically set up. Like, there's certain things you can't overcome. That's the way your body was designed. And people, when it comes to calves, they often say like, "Oh, it's genetic why they don't grow," but they're not actually doing the appropriate workouts. Like, for instance, like I'll see people doing, like calf raises. You know, the machinery, like it has the pads on the shoulder, and you select your weight, and then there's like
that's what I need.
It keeps you elevated. You see people go on their tippy toes, which is great, but you don't ever see them stretching as far down as they can, like where their heels are almost touching the floor.
Okay.
And that's the other half of the equation that people often don't.
Range of motion.
That's one of the biggest things people neglect, and especially when it comes to calves.
Oh my God. I hate when I see people doing push-ups. They're buff, right? But they're doing their push-ups like halfway. They're going like,
yeah, because it looks
I'm
cool.
like, bro, extend. Like, go all the way down. Don't touch your chest, but like go down enough to where you're, you know, full range of motion. Because they'll bang out like 100 of these. It's like anybody can go fucking a quarter of the way down and then all the way up, you know?
Yeah, so
or halfway up.
But yeah, so things like calves, like it's something that people think they know what they're doing, but they really don't. And I remember actually one of the best comments I got about my physique was Andrew on my calves in particular, and that's because when we were
I checked them out.
well, not now, but at the time when we were doing legs or any day that we were doing, because I think calves are one of the fastest recovery muscles on the body.
Oh, no way.
So you can train them pretty frequently without overworking them. And so we'd be doing like chest or flies or something, whatever. And I would just, in between sets, I'd go to the seated calf raising machine. And you would see people do like they'll load like 300 pounds on these things, and they're doing that whole little bouncing thing, and they're not doing anything. I would load like 25 pounds.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of weight.
And I would focus on going all the way down, all the way up, holding it. And one day we were doing deadlifts, or I forgot what we were doing. And Andrew goes, dude, like, when the hell did your calves explode? And I was just like, well, no, I don't know if you notice, I just break away when you're working out. I'll go do seated calves, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That was like I don't even think we're training legs that day in particular. It was just like a comment that he had made, and yeah. So I just, again, like, maybe I got good genetics for calves in particular, but from what I've seen in the gym is people that complain about their calf growth aren't actually doing the workout the way they're supposed to be doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if you're not seeing results, you're just not doing it right. That's really the only thing.
And actually, Andrew was the biggest component in me actually furthering my knowledge, because he actually spent some money learning and getting workout programs from a particular bodybuilder by the name of Ben Pekulski. He came from it. He approached bodybuilding from the scientific aspect. Like, I forgot what university, but they had all the damn little nodes connected to his arms and stuff, and they would see what had what techniques created the most contraction and blah, 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 blah. And so that actually was a big component into Andrew's progress in the gym, because Andrew actually got pretty big at one point. And so he actually had to make me relearn everything that I thought that I knew.
That's crazy, huh?
And but I'm better for it, my knowledge of it. And so going forward, so I don't know when I went to the gym with you, and I want to know more or less the time frame that was, because that would determine whether or not I knew.
I think, dude, I want to say, like, you knew your shit at that point already, because you were giving me a lot of detailed.
So then that was probably after I got, like, coached up by Andrew.
Oh yeah, I think Andrew was already buff at that point.
Yeah, so
I remember him being at my mom's house, or we were all hanging out there, and he took his shirt off and he was just fucking ripped, bro. He was like doing push-ups and shit. He had a really nice chest. Same for me. My genetics, bro, my chest, I've always had a pretty good chest. I've always struggled with my arms. My biceps never, like, grew huge. Like, they weren't, like, fucking huge or anything. I mean, I'll see size in them, but, like, not like how you would see. It doesn't look like a big ass muscle, but my chest always looked good. My shoulders and my traps, and my six pack, actually. So I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like I said, all that to piggyback onto where it led is, yeah, I have the knowledge to make it happen. It's just me saying, okay, today is the day that it starts. You know, so I don't think I want to get back into the gym to. Well, I say that now, but I was trying to be as big as I could, muscular wise. So everything I was doing was in that direction.
Oh, you weren't trying to get lean?
Well, I mean, I was trying to put on lean mass, but I was trying to get yoked, to the point where, PEDs were even something I was considering. And so, like, I was trying to go that route with it. And then, of course, injecting yourself, it scared me. So I never actually pulled the trigger on that particular thing. But with regard to that, like, that was my goals. I just wanted to be yoked. I just wanted to be, I wanted to wear, like, 3X shirts and you be able to tell, even with as baggy as the clothes I was going to be wearing, that, yeah, he's a big ass
I'm
dude.
actually on the same page with you as that. Maybe not 3X, but I feel better when I have a baggier shirt on while I'm in shape, rather than overcompensating and wearing the super tight shirt with the sleeves all the way cut off. I don't like that. I feel like better with, like, a loose shirt, but you can still see that I got some mass.
Yeah, so that was like,
the chest, like, if the chest pops out.
Yeah, like, so just even, like, yeah, he's covered, but you can still tell he's a big dude. Of course, when I'm working out, like, even when I was, probably at my peak fitness as far as weight training goes, I would always wear a sweater. And then when I got sweaty, I wanted to see myself in the mirror. So I would have, like, the cutoff shirts. I never wore stringers or anything like that, but I wanted to see my, the striations in my deltoids when I was doing shoulders and stuff like that, or see my, the horseshoe, thing in the tricep, So I was vain like that. And then you would also see me, like, in the mirror looking at myself doing posing. And it wasn't to be vain or to be like, hey, look at me. It was because what I've gathered from working out was, if I can't call on the muscle to flex it when I'm looking in the mirror, then I'm probably not calling on that muscle to be used when I'm actually working that particular group of muscles out.
Yeah, they say that you have to work on the communication, like, with your brain and your muscles. Focus on using just your bicep when you're curling, rather than, like, throwing your body into it, but, like, make that relationship.
Yeah, the mind to muscle connection's huge.
Exactly.
And so if I can't make myself do that in the mirror, there's a good chance that I'm not even doing that when I'm moving the weight. So I always tell people like practice posing because there's certain poses that
Activate those muscles.
those particular muscles. So it's like,
That's what yoga's good for too.
yeah, but like, all right, like flex your deltoids. Well, how do I do that? Well, then how do you do it when you're working out?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the body is really efficient at doing, lifting heavy things as efficiently as possible to move the weight versus you actually isolating that particular muscle group and, and utilizing that as much as you can, that sole muscle for it,
I just started doing my chest correctly, like as far as bench and flies go. Like I was always doing it was more shoulders and arms, and now I squint my back and
Yeah, that's the scene.
put my shoulder blades on the bench
Yeah.
and then use my chest to do it. And then I got sore. I was like, oh shit, I was doing it wrong this whole time. No wonder I wasn't seeing progress other than the push-ups,
Yeah, so you want to retract your scapulas, your shoulder blades as far back as possible. Like try to pinch your spine, if you will.
Exactly.
And then, before you even start the movement upward, if you're doing a press for chest, you want to start flexing your chest then. So that way, as the movement continues, it's a compound movement. So you're going to have the triceps activating, the deltoids activating for that movement. But if you flex your chest first, then your chest is going to be the primary group that's going to be moving the weight. And then everything else is a secondary, muscle group after that. So, or a support role.
Mhm.
So, yeah, like I said, all that to say, yes, I have the knowledge to make it happen. It just comes down to me holding myself accountable, say, okay, stop being lazy and go actually get the work done. So,
Yo, I actually because I've been going to the gym the last couple of weeks. Prior to that though, I was just working out at home, right? And I was just doing sit-ups, pull-ups, and everything, just calisthenics, right? And like I said, the cardio machine, the elliptical here broke. So I was like, fuck, now I need to go back to the gym. But I hadn't been to the gym since pre-pandemic. So I was a little nervous, but I was like, whatever, like I'm wearing a mask and stuff. So I went in and it took me probably like a week and a half to actually grow the balls other than to go do cardio because the machines are spread out. So I can kind of be there by myself and just get in my own world. But like when you're lifting, everyone's kind of just like crowded around certain machines and people got to wait in line to like wait for this guy to finish using this bench. And for me, it's just like I'm self-conscious because I'm still small. And I know I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to like working out yet. So I might look stupid doing some workouts. So I finally grew the balls though. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go use these weights and fucking bench press and do stuff like, you know what I mean? Like I finally, I don't know. I was proud of that. Like I was like, all right, I'm fucking doing it now. Like I'm here and like, it's nothing going to stop me, Cause I just go by myself. I see most of the time you see people in groups. Like everyone just goes in groups.
Yeah, and that also plays a factor in your muscle development.
Confidence?
No, the group, because if you have too big of a group, then you have too much downtime while you're waiting, unless you're doing like supersets or something like that. So like the biggest group that I would try to entertain would be 3 as a maximum.
Yeah.
But usually when I was, like I said, hitting it as hard as I was, it was Andrew was my partner. So my rest was while he was doing his thing, and the moment he stopped was when I started mine. So there was and we kept each other in check with that. And like I remember one of the greatest leg days I had, we adopted Kai Green's
that was
one of his
favorite
routine, and dude, like it was like knees shaking, walking around, like it was one of the hardest, but probably one of the most memorable workouts that I've ever had. And I actually hated legs, and I grew to be one of my favorite muscle groups to work out.
I like doing chest. It's my favorite. Chest and biceps is my favorite.
Yeah, actually, mine before I stopped was back and legs.
Really, you like doing your back,
dude?
It's just awkward for me.
I think having
other than the dumbbell pulls, but
yeah, like dude, deadlifts, lat pull downs, rows. I mean, you name it. It was a lot of fun. And I wanted to have a wide and thick back. And so that became a fun group because it's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of like you see the front of a person, you see like, their chest, and you see like, oh, it looks good. And they turn around and it's just like, where the hell's the rest of the muscle? Like I wanted you to see me from behind and be like, what the hell's the front look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I was never one that ever had abs, because my body fat percentage never went low enough. I think you have to start nearing like 13.5% body fat for you to start having abs start to show through. Something around that number. So I was never near that realm. I've never actually taken an accurate body fat reading, but I do know I was nowhere near because I never had ab formation, but as for, I still had nice, in my opinion, I had some decent looking delts for my time doing it. And triceps, biceps it was never really my strong point. I did like my chest development at one point. But back was kind of my favorite. And then legs, dude, like just sitting there, just having nice hamstrings or your quads, just looking all nice when you have some shorts that show above the knee.
Yeah. I don't have that. I got the chicken legs going. So I need to work on that.
That was my thing. But
yeah. I mean, I love it though, bro. Like it does. And for me too, this is not just all about the aesthetics and how I look on the outside. Obviously that's a bonus, right? But it adds to my confidence. But also what it's doing is it's like callousing my mind even further. It's forcing me to, hold myself accountable, and it keeps me busy and it forces me to do something that's uncomfortable, And anytime I'm doing my workouts and I want to stop, I just got to think like to myself, this is only temporary and just put in the work now. And you get like, the rest of the day to just kind of recover. You know what I mean? If you're eating right and you're sleeping right. But in the moment, it's good for my mental health, at least, to just push past that and get to the gym.
For me, I never thought of it in that regard. And maybe I did subconsciously, but never on a scale that I was able to like make a mental note of it. For me, I was here for a purpose, and I'll stop when I'm done, not when I'm tired.
Yeah, they always say stop when you're done, not when you're or stop. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done.
So, the mental health aspect that I felt was, there was like more of a cognitive clearance. Like I was able to think better. I felt better overall. And I don't know, I just had like this endless supply of energy, even though I would go and literally leave it, at the gym. When I would left, I was like, I still got energy. I felt good. You know what I'm saying? And that just carried on. So, and I don't recall feeling as tired as I do now. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
there's obviously a lot of good mental side effects that come from being healthy. And so that's like my point. Like I'm not trying to get big anymore. I think I just want to, I want to lose some body fat, obviously, maybe put a little bit more size on, and wherever that road leads me, maybe I might get bit by the bug again and try putting on big amounts of mass. But I just want to feel better when I see myself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, since I started working out though, I haven't played Call of Duty in like a month. Dude, that game got fucking dangerous for me, man. Like I became addicted to that game. Like I can't do shit like that, dude. Like I'll get addicted, man. Like when quarantine started is when I started playing that game. That's when it came out, Warzone. And since up until just recently, man, I've been hooked on that game like every day. And so I remember the first day I got on there, I played it for like 10 and a half hours straight. Just straight, bro. And then I've had other days like that. So it became toxic. So this pulled me out of that world and got me off my ass. And I miss playing because I used to play with my uncle and stuff, and I miss doing that, and it was fun. But mentally, though, it was just fucking me up.
I've spent an embarrassing amount of time playing video games. So I'm no stranger to that. However, when I was in my gym, going phase, and I say phase because it's come and gone. So it wasn't like it was like at the time it felt like a lifestyle, but it's since been gone for the past few years. So I can't really call it a lifestyle. But anyway, when I was going through my weightlifting phase, I had I still played video games, but I had no problem putting down the sticks, handling business, and then I'll just resume where I left off when I'm done. So I was able to compartmentalize, those aspects, even with me having an addictive type of personality. It's like, I remember nights, hey, gotta go, be back in a couple hours, I gotta go to the gym.
Just comes down to discipline,
and then I'd go hammer it out, come back, eat, all right, guys, I'm back. And then I'd play an ungodly amount of, video games after that. But I think everything's okay as long as it's done with moderation, or if I guess you can say, well, how much moderation did you have if you were coming back and playing it again? But, I was single at the time, I lived far from my friends, so it was kind of like, that was my way of connecting with them.
Yeah, I could see if you're not single. See, me in my position, like I have a fiance, so it's like I need to be able to dedicate time to her as well, But if I could totally see myself being single after the gym or whatever, do my shit that I need to do, then yeah, I wouldn't have any problem playing.
Yeah, so now that I got my girlfriend in my life and stuff, and things are going.
Does she get mad like if you game too much?
No, I mean, right, because when I'm not with her, or it's like the time that I spend playing my games is late at night. So it's like she gets my attention throughout the day if I'm not with her. And then if like, uh, if for some chance I don't happen to see her on a given day, then yeah, I'll game because I live 40 minutes from her. You know what I'm saying? And if my since I'm not going to the gym, if my time isn't tied up with her, then I have an abundance of free time on my hands. You know what I'm saying? So once I get the gym back in my life, because when I first her and I started talking, which was right before the pandemic hit, right before the lockdown hit, I should say. Dude, I was in the gym for like she talks about. She's like, man, you were in the gym a lot. Like I'd be in the gym for like 2-3 hours. And granted, I was going to 2 different gyms. I'd go to Kingsburg to link up with a buddy, and then we go to Selma to work out at his gym, and then from his house I would stop in Hanford and go hit the sauna for like 45 minutes. So it seemed like I was in the gym for a long period of time, but realistically I was in the gym for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I cannot wait for the sauna to open back up, man. I can't wait. For me was the biggest part of my gym experience. Like that's what I looked forward to the most, was just sitting in the sauna at a very high temperature for 30. Well, for me, I only went 30 minutes.
No, I was there for probably a very unhealthy amount of time.
I know you mentioned that. How long were you actually in there though? At what degree? Like
whatever. It's so most of the gyms that I've been to, you don't have the ability to control the temperature. So whatever, I'm assuming whatever setting it is, but some have thermometers in there. Not thermometers. Yeah,
thermometers.
Yeah. 220 degrees, something like that, 230, 240.
No fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, the highest ours.
I believe if I remember correctly, yeah.
Ours was 210. Well, at least the gym that I was going to, they would always be set at 210. And apparently, like a lot of places, they're only like 180, 190.
Okay, maybe I was mistaken then. But yeah, I do remember seeing like 200 and some especially at GB3. But I would be in there for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, they say you're only supposed to do like 30 minutes or something like that, 25.
Max. Yeah. So
because you're cooking yourself, dude. That's what you are.
And then I would go out, drink some water, cool down for about 10 minutes, and then go back in for like another 20.
It's an experience, dude. Like for anybody who hasn't went and sat in the sauna after a hard workout or some cardio, it's an experience, dude. It's like, for me, it's just like so therapeutic, and it just like, it's a good way to unwind a hard workout.
Yeah, I like it. It was part of my routine. You know, I loved it.
Oh, I love it. I miss it, bro.
So
can't wait.
Yeah.
As soon as that shit gets back, I know there's gonna be a fat line though, dude. As soon as it's open, but hopefully at that point, the gym that I go to is 24 hours at the time, so I won't have to worry about that. I'll just go late and then hit it then. But like I already know, like as soon as saunas open back up, there's gonna be a fat line, and there's gonna be people crammed in there like sardines trying to get in their sauna fix, just like me, you know.
Yeah, what sucks at the gym that I was going to locally for me that had the saunas has closed down because of the pandemic. They had multiple locations throughout California, and so now I guess they're just running the biggest ones to keep, I guess, profits as high as they could.
Is Crunch Fitness a big chain?
I don't know. The one I was going to is Lifetime. I think Lifetime Fitness.
Well, I know GB3 ain't going anywhere.
No.
They charge a lot, dude. They're charging like fucking $30 a month.
That's pretty on par for gyms of that size. Honestly.
Mine is $9.99, which I don't know how they're still open at that rate. Cause they got a nice gym, dude. It's a nice fucking gym. Like, granted, it ain't like GB3. It doesn't have the indoor pool and then the steam room, but it has a sauna and it has an upstairs, a downstairs. It's got everything, bro. It's nice. And they're only
actually, I think I'm gonna be going to that gym, Crunch, with my girl.
Bro, if you do, one of these, when you start going to the gym, one of these days after podcast, we gotta go hit the gym, bro. Because Crunch is literally right down the street, right?
Yeah, that might be the push on the back that I need to get me going. But yeah,
bro, that might be the fucking thing we need. Every Monday, we know we're just gonna meet up, do podcasts, and then go hit the gym. At least we did that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be down. Because I just gotta get myself going. Because like I said, because like, dude, even when the pandemic hit and the gym shut down, I still had I only had dumbbells, but I was working out with those dumbbells. I was doing push-ups. I was, trying to stay active to keep it going. And then what ended up being, dare I say, my demise was the fact that gym equipment was damn near impossible to get. The price of weight shot up to like $2 to $3 a pound when traditionally it's about $1 per pound. People were, scalping for that. And then buying gym equipment was damn near impossible. I was on a wait list for a long time. There was a couple of times where I missed the email by like a couple minutes, and the product sold out in the 2 minutes I took to get to the website. So by the time I actually got myself some really nice equipment, I was already over it, you know. And I think I spent like probably $800-900 on my equipment, and I used it twice, and then I sold it.
When you get a house, you're gonna put a gym?
No,
No.
fuck.
Where am I gonna go?
I need to be in the gym.
Oh, you need a place to go, otherwise you're not gonna. Okay, I understand your logic
Yeah,
there. Okay, I get it.
Like for me, I will have one too many distractions around me to stop me from doing it.
I would love to have my own home gym because that was my first venture with working out. It was at home because my dad put a whole fucking gym in the garage.
Yeah, for me, I could have everything I need, even if you had one in your future home, and
you came over.
That would be enough for me.
Okay.
Granted, the equipment that you had available, but the fact that I drove here, I'm here, put the work in. But if I'm at home, it's like, hey, what'd you need? Okay, or I just wouldn't be able to compartmentalize in that way. And so for me, a home gym at my home would not be a feasible thing. I mean, I could build a nice gym, but for me to put it to use, no, I'd rather just pay. So I have to go somewhere. So it's like, okay, I'm already
like
here.
A job.
Yeah, I'm already here. I may as well do what I have to do.
So the idea of working out within the confines of your apartment with no equipment is not don't work for you. Because bro, that's been the majority of my workouts. I mean, other than when I was younger, but like these past few years, that's all I've done. And I'm glad though, just because I don't know anything different, and it forces me to like, yeah, that's why when I got my gym membership for the first time, I was like, oh, it's on now. Like, there's no reason for me not to see real results and like actually get some gains here rather than just calisthenic gains, because it's way different.
Yeah. So I can't work at home. I can't work at home. I've tried it when I was younger. We had a little gym equipment at the house, and
I miss it. Like, I haven't been going.
And there's too many distractions around me to make it happen. So I need that place
That's crazy,
to get me in the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a distractible person, but for whatever reason, I can flip the switch in my head and like, I know, trust me, I don't want to do it. Like working out at home, it sucks, but it's like, but once you're halfway through your workout, it's like you got some momentum going, bro. You can get a pump going. It's like, for me, it's the same thing.
For me, it's like trying to roll a 4,000-pound boulder out of a hole. Like I'm not gonna be able to move it. Like I can't. So when the pandemic hit, when I tell you I was trying to do my home things, like I had to have like gym videos on my computer playing, like, guys working out and shit. Some of the guys that I'd follow, like Guy Cicerino, Seth Feroci, all these big time bodybuilders. I had to have like their motivational things going, like, come on, get the fucking weight up, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, I can see a gym. It's close enough to me now, but that lasted maybe a couple weeks, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. So I just stopped.
That's crazy, bro. I was all about it. As soon as you leave here, though, I gotta clean this shit up and then do a workout. I can't wait to do it, man. Like last time you came over, we concluded the podcast for those couple episodes that we did. As soon as I was done wrapping up and everything, I fucking started working out, dude. I stretched, I got my meal ready, and then I fucking did my workout. And surprisingly, because I hadn't eaten that day, I had so much energy, bro. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to like overdo it because I wanted to work out the next day. But I just had so much energy, man. It was crazy. So I'm probably gonna do that here again after we wrap up. So, but how's your steam?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because we're an hour into it exactly now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, we could.
It's up to you. I mean,
although I sent that picture to Mikey, he said it looked like me.
Hell no, bro. It looks like him.
if I read the message right.
No way.
Unless you can make sense of what he said.
I'm so looks like LMAO you. No, that looks like him, bro. I guarantee if you took a poll, like posted on Instagram. Oh
yeah, 100%.
Everyone would be like, yeah, that looks like Mikey.
Yeah.
That's why I screenshotted it, and that's why you were laughing so hard, because it looks identical to him. That looks like what would have happened if you went down the wrong path. That would have been exactly like, bro, just he should put that in his room, like or in his bathroom mirror. Like, look, it could have gone this way. Just be thankful. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be thankful. Dude, I've been wanting to write that shit on my mirror and like dry erase. Don't stop when you're tired. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. That's a Goggins uses that quote a lot, but I want to write that shit on my mirror, bro. It's just to like remind myself every day. That's like, I know you're tired, bro, but you gotta push through it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up, bro. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So this is the segment of the podcast.
Yeah, he said, yeah, it looks like you.
Like me?
No, me.
Oh, like you. No, it doesn't look like you. Anyway, this is the segment of the podcast that I call the Stigma Enigma PO3 Pathway Weekly Challenge. And so basically what it is, it's a challenge for you guys to do, but my goal is to incentivize you guys to take that challenge. And my way of doing it is what I did, I came up with an acronym for stigma. And I know all the times we're not going to be always talking about mental health and stuff, but that is my primary goal, is to like, relay my message and my experience to people. So I like to put these at the end of the podcast and just let you guys know why you're here in the first place and why I'm here in the first place. So what I did was I came up with an acronym for stigma, which is so that I give my all, or slowly this illness guided me along. So what I want you guys to do is think about all the stigmas on mental illness or whatever it is that you guys are going through, and plug that in, so that I give my all. You plug in that acronym for stigma. Whatever it is, whatever terrified you, to speak up about it. If somebody made fun of you for having a disability or that you're on medication, use that as the incentive to take the weekly challenge. So for this week, what I want you guys to do is I completely forgot what I was going to say. I really did. I had the challenge in my head and everything. What the fuck was it, bro?
I couldn't even begin to tell you. I have no clue.
You know what threw me off? You sat your phone down and the fucking noise. That thought was right there and it was on the tip of my tongue. And then just imagine like Tiger Woods, and then on the tee is my thought. He just went, and it went. It went, but it was something along the lines of fitness. Here, it's hold yourself accountable. This is what it was. Thanks, Tiger, for nothing. I'm gonna put a little golfing, yeah. Hold yourself accountable. So like, if you, like what we were talking about, if it's been in your head to make it a goal to like finally get the ball rolling and get yourself on a fitness journey or whatever, a healthy diet or whatever it is that you've been putting it off in your head, what I want you to do is go deep in your thoughts and grab that. Whatever it was that you were about to do and that you've been putting off, is finally fucking do it. Like, just, I don't care how big it is, how small it is. If it's something that you know you need to do and it's something that you've been putting off, like starting your diet, what I want you to do is just get started and hold yourself accountable and, see where that takes you. You know what I mean? Because you do it once, it makes it easier to do it again the next time. So what I want you guys to do is just hold yourself accountable. Doesn't matter the capacity, just do what you said you were going to do, And that's all I got for you guys. So
sounds like a good way to end it.
That was a good episode, man. I feel like I was struggling though a little bit. I don't know. I just, like I said, I haven't been as mentally clear as I, would like to be. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a little bit of depression coming on and everything, but I'm gonna battle that with some healthy food and some fitness. It's definitely dampened by that. So, because normally I'd be a lot worse.
Sounds like a recipe for success, man.
It is, man. So, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to wrap it up and get myself to working out. And now me saying that, I got to hold myself accountable and do that. And I will do that. But it's been another great episode, man. Like I said, I appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me on numerous topics. Sky's the limit here, dude.
Stay firm.
So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We hope you guys had a good week and make it another good week, because this comes out on Monday. So if you guys like the content that you're getting here from the PO3 Podcast channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, drop a comment, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. And we're slowly growing. We're working our way up, but we would greatly appreciate it if you guys would drop us a sub. But with that said, this concludes the episode, and my name is Marcus Marks.
Just John.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.